Good evening, friends. Today we start a new topic, space missions away from Earth. As we have seen above or in the last lecture, artificial satellites are being used for making our life more and more enriched. However, in the last standard, we have learned that telescopes aboard artificial satellites are used to gather information about various objects in the universe. Now, some space missions are used to gain the further knowledge about the universe. In these missions, spacecrafts are sent to be nearby objects in the solar system to observe them more closely. New information has been obtained from such missions and it is helping us to understand the creation and evolution of our solar system. In this topic, we all countries are trying to prove ourselves to do more and more experiment in day to day. So we aboard the artificial satellites are used to take more and more information about the universe. So we sent some spacecrafts in the universe to know about the more and more information about the solar system or other creation and evolution of our solar system. For these missions, the spacecrafts must escape the Earth's gravitational force to travel into the outer space. The initial velocity of the moving object must be greater than the escape velocity. So, this fact we have learned in the chapter that is gravity. So, here are some formulas and let us we discuss this formula of escape velocity. We know that escape velocity is equal to square root of 2gm upon r. Here g is the gravitational constant and its value is 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. M is the mass of that planet and it will be 6 into 10 raised to 24 kg for Earth. And R is the radius of that planet. It is 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 meter for Earth. Let we put all these value in this formula. We get V escape, that means ESC, is equal to square root of 2 into the value of G is 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11. The value of M is 6 into 10 raised to 24 upon value of R is 6.4 into 10 raised to 6. After solving all these terms, we get the answer 11.18 into 10 raised to 3 meter per second. So it will be converted to the kilometer per second. So it is 11.18 kilometer per second. So you all students do this calculation in your notebook. So we get The answer 11.18 km per second. If a spacecraft is to escape the Earth's gravitational force to travel to the outer space, it must have a minimum velocity of 11.2 km per second. So you can use this formula. We find the escape velocity of any planet. So next is the moon missions. The moon is the closest astronomical object to us. We know that moon is the very closest to our earth. So the first space mission to object in the solar system were the missions to the moon. The first, every scientist is working on this moon mission. Such missions have so far been executed by so many countries like USA, Soviet Union, European countries, China, Japan and India. All these countries are working for these moon missions. The spacecrafts in the Luna series sent by a Soviet Union reached near the moon. The name of that spacecraft is Luna 2, which is launched in 1959, was first such craft, and after that till in 1975 there are 50 spacecrafts made chemical analysis of the moon, and they measured its gravity, density and radiations. Last 4 crafts even landed on the moon, and they brought some samples of stones on the moon for analysis in the laboratories. All these missions were unmanned. In all these missions were unmanned. So after some years, America executed a moon mission from 1962 to 1972. The specialty of these missions was it was a manned mission. In July 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first human to step on the moon. We know that who is the first person to step on the moon? That will be Neil Armstrong. Everyone should know this thing. In 2008, India Space Research Organization, it means ISRO, is successfully launched a Chandrayaan 1 and placed it into an orbit around the moon. What they work, they sent useful information to the earth for about a year. The most important discovery made during the mission was the presence of water on the moon's surface. This Chandrayaan 1 can found that there is a presence of water on the moon surface. And who discovered this? India was the first country to discover this thing. Remember student, India was the first country to discover this thing. Next is the Mars mission. The astronomical object nearest to the earth in the Mars. Many nations sent a spacecraft to the Mars. Mars mission is very difficult and almost half the missions were unsuccessful. Most of the countries are trying to send some spacecraft on the Mars, but they are unsuccessful. Why this happened? Now see here. ISRO performance in this mission is remarkable, and we all must be proud of it because the spacecraft Mangalyaan made by ISRO using minimum expenses was launched in November 2013 and was placed into orbit around the Mars in September 2014. It obtained very useful information about the surface of the Mars and the atmosphere around it. We so many students can watch the movie that will be Mission Mangal. You can see everything in that movie what will happen with this Mars mission. So this is the very big achievement for us. So Mars mission is very difficult, and they this mission Mangalyaan spacecraft gives the useful information about the surface of the Mars and atmosphere to us. So these are the two missions we seen here. Now we go for the next mission, that is missions to the other planets. Many missions have been executed to study the other planets also. In some of these missions, the spacecrafts orbited the planet and some landed on the planets and some just passed near to the planet and observed them. Here, so many countries are trying to go for the other planets, and what happened with that missions? So sometimes it that spacecrafts landed on the planet, sometimes just passing from that planet and just observe the surface of that planet. So additionally, spacecrafts have been sent to observe the asteroids and comet, and they have successfully collected some dust and stone from the asteroids and brought them back on the earth. In some spacecrafts collect the dust and stones from the planet, and we testing that dust and stones in our laboratories. So we are getting very useful information from these missions to clarifying our concepts about the origin and evolution of the solar system. So next topic is the India and space technology. India is also has made a remarkable progress in the science and technology of launch vehicles. The various types of launch vehicles have been developed to put satellites having the weight up to 2500 kg into all types of orbits. Here India is also progressing in the science and technology, and they also launched so many spacecrafts in the space. We know that PSLV, it means Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, and GSLV, it is Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle. These are the two important launchers which is made by India, and the second is the science and technology, or the scientific and technological feats achieved by India in this field have a significant contribution to the national and social development. INSAT and GSAT satellites series is actively working in the field of the telecommunication. We know that INSAT and GSAT gives the more and more information about the telecommunication, television broadcasting and meteorological services. So availability of televisions, telephones and internet services all over the nation has been possible due to these satellites only. We can also taken sometimes online meetings, and how we take all these meetings, online meetings, because of this INSAT and GSAT satellite. As well as EduSat satellite is another series which is specially used for the education. We know that EduSat satellite is only used for the education. Then next is the IRS satellite series, which is working for monitoring and management of a national resources and disaster management. IRS satellite is also used to monitoring, management of national resources and disaster management. Next, exactly locate position of any place on the earth's surface in terms of its precise latitude and longitude. The IRNSS, that means IRNES satellite series, has been established. India also develops so many spacecrafts can be sent in space to achieve more and more things and collect more and more information about the solar system. So here next topic is the space debris and its management. We know that, students, we launched so many satellites and spacecrafts for research in a space, but there are some causes, and there are so many debris are present in a space which causes or which is very difficult to destroy in a space, and how it will be, let me see. In addition to the artificial satellite, some other objects are also revolving around the earth, and it includes non-functional satellite. It is not useful for us, and these parts of the launchers detach during the launching, and debris generated due to the collision of satellite with other satellite or any other objects in the space. When we launch a one satellite, there is a problem for launching because so many non-functional satellites or the part of the launcher detached during the launching before that will be present in the space. So this causes, there are some problems causes for the launching of satellites. According to the estimation made in 2016, there are about 2 crore pieces of length more than 1 centimeter revolving around the earth. It is more than 2 crore pieces are present in the space, and which is very difficult to destroy from space. So these debris can be harmful to the artificial satellite, and it can collide with these satellites or spacecraft and damage them. Because of the presence of these debris, it damage the spacecrafts. So this is the very big problem for all the countries. This debris is increasing day by day, and it will be difficult to launch a new spacecraft. It causes so many difficulties for launching a new spacecraft. So it is therefore very essential to manage the debris. Some studies and experiments are being done with this in view that soon we will have a solution for this problem, and the future satellites and spacecrafts will not be in a danger anymore. So most of the scientists is working on the project also to how to reduce these debris from the space, and these parts, how to destroy these parts from space. Most of the scientists are working on this project. So in today's lecture we have learned that moon mission, Mars mission, mission to the other planets, and how the India is working for the space missions and the space debris and its management. So today we have learnt all these topics and this chapter will be over here. So all the students, you just read this chapter carefully and take more and more information about the space mission. Thank you.